The United States has released a report which indicts India, or at least attempts to. What for? For financially supporting Afghan warlords. And remember, this is coming from a country that played a key role in arming the Afghan Mujahideen, that left over $7 billion worth of weapons in Afghanistan in 2021, and that waged a 20-year war on Afghanistan, killing hundreds of thousands of people. The Mujahids they supported went on to become the Taliban. Then the Americans spent 20 years fighting a monster it birthed itself. And now the same America is accusing India of arming the Afghans. The report comes from the Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction, or SIGAR, S-I-G-A-R. This is Washington's leading oversight authority on Afghanistan's reconstruction. Again, the irony is too stark to be ignored. The US, trying to reconstruct a country it bombed back to the Stone Ages. The report from SIGAR is called this: Why the Afghan Security Forces Collapsed. This report says India funded Afghan warlords instead of the government in Kabul. It quotes a man called Hibatullah Ali Zai. He is a former Afghan army general, and he has a lot to say. Let me quote from what he said. I got a report that said these guys, Noor and Dostum and so on, went to India and got money from India to create a resistance in the north. That is good, but that money should have gone to the Afghan government to pay Afghan National Security Forces' salaries. Now, who are these people he's talking about? Noor and Dostum. Atta Muhammad Noor and Abdul Rashid Dostum, both exiled warlords from Afghanistan, both belong to northern Afghanistan. It is a region which has traditionally resisted the Taliban. Now, these two warlords got whatever they wanted from India. That's what the report says. Let me tell you what else the general has said, and I'm quoting again. I, as a commander, was requesting money for operations and supplies, but I could not get it from the government. He's talking about India. But Dostum got money just from making phone calls to the Indians. There's more. This report also says that the UAE bagged figures like Dostum. The Emiratis reportedly gave 200 brand new Land Cruisers to the exiled warlord. Neither India nor the UAE have responded to the report yet. But let's look at India's record. What does it say? India's interventions in Afghanistan centered around the people. Let's look at New Delhi's projects. Before the Taliban took power in 2021, India invested over $3 billion in development and capacity building projects. India built the Afghan parliament in Kabul for $90 million. It built the 42-megawatt Salma Dam in the Herat province. India's Border Roads Organization built the 218-kilometer-long Zaranj-Dilaram Highway. India has also helped build hospitals, schools, and universities in Afghanistan. And that's not all. India gifted hundreds of buses for the Kabul transportation system. It supplied Afghanistan's army with close to 300 military vehicles. Afghanistan's Air Force was provided with Mi-25 and Mi-35 helicopters. And even after the takeover of the Taliban, India's humanitarian assistance continues. It is working to restart 20 development projects. The list is long, but somehow none of it made it to the SIGAR report. No mention of the development assistance from India. Just an accusation that India funded anti-Taliban warlords. Even if it did, it won't be new. Even during the Taliban's previous stint in power until 2001, India supported the Northern Alliance along with Russia and Iran. This was the resistance front led by Ahmad Massoud. And India has always had its suspicions about the Taliban, not just because of it being a terror outfit, but also because it's been hand in glove with Pakistan. Even during the 2021 takeover, Pakistan played the mediator. The ISI chief personally flew down to Kabul to oversee government formation. Now, the Taliban are behaving like the Taliban. They're showing that they have a mind of their own, and Pakistan doesn't like it. There are gunfights at the border, threats and warnings. The security situation is precarious. India has stakes in Afghanistan and commitments to the Afghan people. It needs to carefully craft its policy and engagements. As for reports like these, they expose America's flawed approach and double standards more than anything else.